Welcome, everyone, to the Indie Experience podcast. And we're going to get it on the pop in as we always do tonight. We got a special guest. We got Dre Rock in the building. That's our special guest for the night. We're going to get to
What's
know about
happening?
Dre Rock.
What's
What's good,
happening?
Dre?
What's happening? What's good? What's good, Road? How you doing?
I'm good. I know you working on some new music.
Yeah, I'm working on a few things actually. So that's always good. Winter time is my time where I hibernate and work. So I'm working on a few projects. And got a few things coming up, man. So I'm happy. I feel good. I feel charged. I feel creative, and I'm just ready to keep the boat flowing steady. So yeah, most definitely.
We ain't really interview talk since radio days.
I know it's been I know what I can't even remember the year that was, but
I think it was 2012 when we did the interview, and
okay, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah. Let me get
you
my camera right.
I think you dropped one sided,
Yeah, yeah, I sure did.
and you dropped Sex and Go.
Yeah, yeah. I dropped one sided. One sided was actually on the therapy sessions album, and Sex and Go was that was a blessing because that came from Soul Persona over in Europe. He liked the concept. He liked the idea of the song, the lyrics, and everything. And we forged the union, and we did Sex and Go. We did the song Sex and Go, and it got really good reviews and good hits on YouTube. And I get questioned about it sometimes. So I wanted to do a I wanted to take it back to the '70s and do a how they sang sultry love songs without all the
Mm-hmm.
vulgarities. So I wanted to do a song like that, and Roy
Yeah.
Ayers is Roy Ayers is one of my favorite funk, jazz funk heroes, and rest in peace to Roy Ayers. And
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like, in a sense, it was kind of a tribute to him. I grew up in a household where a lot of funk and R&B and soul records were played by my mother. So yeah, I got a chance to collaborate with Rare Grooves architect Soul Persona over there in England, and it was a good time. It was a good time. It was a fun record to make.
Yeah, because I was playing that, and I was playing Sex and Go. I was playing Sex and Go. I was playing One Sided,
Oh,
and then you
cool, cool.
and then you introduced me to what's her name, Frieze,
Frisia.
Princess Frieze.
Yeah, yeah. Frisia and Soul Persona work together, and they make incredible music. So,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
introduced me to her, and then she sent me her music, and I played her music like crazy.
that's what's up. That's good. That's good. It's always good to help other artists as well as help yourself. So I'm glad that I could get you some good solid music. And Frisia's an incredible artist. She's
Because
very talented.
when I started playing her music, Six was like, "Who is that?" So what are you talking about? The song you just played. Who is that? Oh, I said Princess Frieze. He was like, "I like that song." So
Frisia.
would do,
Yeah.
whenever we do a show together, he would ask me to play the song, and I would play the song that he liked. Or if he tune in when I'm do solo, he would like play the song that I like, and I play the song.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Yep, I love playing her music. I love playing your music, and there's a lot of doing radio. A lot of artists whose music I love playing. Never played that hip hop. Your songs got played. If it was R&B and it fit the like, because I usually do R&B hip hop together. If it had that fit the vibe, it got played.
Right, right. Trying to
And
get
then I
this stand in
and
the
then
way.
and then I
Keep talking.
saw
I'm
you.
listening to you.
I saw you post. This was when I was still doing radio. You was working on the Funk Bang Boogie. That's what was the name of the album you was working on.
Funk
Yeah,
Boogie Bang Volume One.
yeah.
Yep.
So I saw you was working on it. I was like, okay, Dre got new music coming. So Dre got new music coming.
Yeah. I'm actually Funk Boogie Bang Volume Two is actually under construction as we speak. I'm actually working on three projects. So I'm working on Funk Boogie Bang Volume Two. I'm also working on a jazz funk project. Um, I don't want to reveal too much about it right now, but my inspiration and what inspired me to do it. I always was a fan of Guru from Gangstar. Rest in peace to Guru. And I love when Guru did the Jazzmatazz album. And I always said to myself, I said, you know what? Guru covered the jazz. I'm gonna cover the funk. So the project is gonna be called Funktastic Jazzmatic, and that's gonna drop in 2027, God willing. And
So
one more, and the other one, the third project. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna keep you guessing on that, but it's solidified. The A good friend of mine, we've been working on it behind the scenes. I like to work a year or two ahead. So things are falling together. I just get out the way and let God kind of give me the signal that, hey, okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing right now. So when I take that approach with the music, with my art, it just kind of flows. It kind of just flows. So I just lay back, just take my time. I don't rush. I don't believe in rushing because I believe in giving my full undivided to attention to the music and what the message that I'm trying to convey through the music. So far so good, bro. It's been good. It's been the creative juices are flowing, so I feel good about everything.
that's great. That you that you working on all these projects is the way music is going now. You know what you think about the AI with music?
Um, I think that we've gotten away from the soul artistry of musicians playing, actual vocalists doing their own vocals live. Um, but I am also a person that, you know, I'm evolving and I'm changing and I'm growing.
Hmm.
So if I can see where it fits with the growth of my music without tampering with the authenticity of what I do and the messages that I try to convey, I could see myself dabbling with AI in some form, but as far as with my vocals and stuff, nah, I don't use AI. I My thing is, I guess I'm old school. What you hear on the record, it's my job to sound like that when I do shows and you see me live. So I I'm not opposed to it, but it has to be right. I just think that sometimes with new inventions and new things that come across, people just jump on it and they clamor. It's just like you know when auto tune first got introduced, everybody was doing auto tune. I didn't use it. And I wanted to stay authentic with what I do, and
Hmm.
caught a lot of backlash for that. People like, man, you got to get on this wave. Everybody. I've never been a follower, so
I don't.
I'm the guy.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the auto tunes. I'm with you on the auto tunes.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't know
never.
why, but T Pain made it so popular that everybody said if T Pain can make money and get rich off of it, why can't I? But the thing I say, it's okay if a rapper uses it. For me, I don't like it when singers use it because if you're telling me you can sing, you shouldn't have to need auto tune to help you.
Exactly. Yeah. I myself, in terms of the AI, I think as time goes on, it's probably gonna have its own little separate niche. in terms of
Mm-hmm.
music, because I think people are always going to want to hear live music because of the creativity of it, because of the uniqueness that it is. I mean, it's one thing to hear a record or album as it's been recorded and what have you, but the nuances of it live and that person's cadence and the different little something that they put on it, that's something
Mm-hmm.
that AI will never be able to recreate. So I think because of that, we'll always have that. Now, if I remember correctly, you say you're from Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay,
I now reside in Charlotte, North Carolina, but Cleveland,
got
Ohio is my home.
so, growing up in Cleveland, what were some of your musical influences?
Oh wow. So my mother, um, she was an avid R&B soul and funk listener. So of course Ohio Players, the Dramatics, Gladys Knight and the Pips. Oh man, I could go on naming, man. Al Green. She played everything. So I was exposed at a young age to great music, and my father as well. My father was an old jazz head, so and the fusion of jazz and funk flowing through the house. That's it just made a certain sound, and when those musics clash, like my dad would be in the back room playing jazz albums. Mom's up front playing funk. So it's like the battle of the bands in the household. So
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 yeah, I bet your Ohio. So of course some OJs, some Ohio players.
Ohio Players, OJ's, you know it. You know it most definitely.
Oh yeah,
Most definitely. Daz Band, whatever, anything Ohio, all the Ohio groups, that Ohio funk has got its own niche. It's its own thing. It's always been that way.
absolutely.
So you, I've sent you songs that I've made through the AI, and and I always like to ask other people who's in music their opinion when I do my, because I say I know the artists don't like the AI because it takes away from the creativity. You know, like you said, you want to hear real vocals, and but for songwriters who don't sing, I feel the AI is a good way for them to see how their lyrics sound to music, even though
Absolutely.
because they don't sing.
Yeah, because
I agree. I
we both
agree
been
with
in
that.
the space role. So yeah, I definitely, I'm thankful that we have that as a means to do things, but I don't want us to ever feel like we stepping on the toes of real, people who
Yeah,
perform like Dre Rock. You know.
I think it's
I,
good. I think it's good for songwriters because then you get to. It's one thing to write the song and you don't have anybody to sing it, but in your head you know how it should sound. So you're writing it out to be able to say, okay, let me load it into this machine and see what it spits out. It gives you a kind of a gateway as to what it could be. Then from that formula, it should be okay. Now let's take it to an artist, play it, and let them hear it. You know. So and then let the artist record it. That's my view on it. I think that should kind of be the step for it.
because people say, "Oh, R&B is dead." R&B is not dead.
Not at all.
It's just
No, it's
that
not dead.
no one's making the kind of R&B we grew up on. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Because
Well,
if you,
no one's making the R&B that we grew up on, and at the same time, it's not it's not pushed like it was back in the day. And then you also got to realize this is part of it as well. Um, the machines that that we use to create the music now. If you fit in the machine in place of an actual physical able body who plays the instrument and his soul is tied to that instrument. So that's kind of missing a little bit too. But you still get great shows. I see a lot. I see Evelyn Champagne King out there. A lot of oh, I just saw a video the other day. I can't think of what's her name from the SOS band. She was riding in the car. She was doing her
Oh,
lyrics live.
okay. It's Cadillac Chronicles. Yes, the
Yeah,
female lead singer for SOS.
yes, yes. She always had as a little kid, as a child, I thought her voice was just so amazing. So to see your old hero still doing it, and then it's a beautiful thing. I mean, the music is evolving, times are changing, technology keeps on moving, so we have to evolve. We have to evolve with it, and the things that you don't like, you don't have to do them. I'm not gonna shun it. It's just something that I don't do as far as with, auto tune and the AI stuff. But I'm an open, optimistic thinker, and I'm always open to change and evolve. I support the youth, the younger generation, and some of the old ways that the industry evolved from. They're not anymore. Times have changed, so you have to evolve and keep moving with the change of times. At the same time, still remaining authentic in what you do.
Yeah, because when you ask people what's their favorite genre, what's their favorite era of R&B, everybody always say the '90s, but no one's making music like that anymore. We lost, like, there's no groups anymore. In the '90s, you had a lot of groups come out. Early, like the '80s, '90s, groups were you got groups coming out giving you great music. We don't got that anymore. Like, we lost the group thing when it comes to music. We lost that. And if the groups are now coming back, but it's not like how, like, New Edition, they started out five, now it's six, but there was a big group. Now you got three people calling themselves a group, but when we know of as a group, it's more than three people calling themselves a group.
Right. I mean, because they actually talked about that on the Breakfast Club last week when New Edition and Boys to Men was on there. How, why are there no more R&B groups coming out? And they kind of went into some of that.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I'm sure that was an interesting interview with them.
Absolutely.
I got to check that
Because
out.
for me, when I think about it, it's because the labels. I think it has something to do with the label itself, not because they see how when the groups are put together, then they fall apart. It's like, do I want to invest in a group, and then after investing in them, they fall apart? What am I going to do?
Well, well, not only that, also we're in a we're in a day and time where everybody's after the bag. Everybody's chasing the bag. So you know, some people are, if I can do all this myself, then why should I be in a group? When not realizing that when you're dealing with a group of people that are solely connected to a music, there's a certain force that comes with that, and it's a beautiful force. And and it's also in a group, everybody has a position to play. It's knowing your role, knowing your position, knowing what you're supposed to do. Where do you come in with the harmonies? What are you a strong songwriter for the group, or are even with are you a dancer? Or it's so much that I think that we've gotten away from that, you know, because of technology, and because of the bag. I'm just gonna say it. The bag is really, why share it? When sharing is great, man. And you know, just like the three of us, if we get together and do something, we form like Voltron. We'd be unstoppable. So I want to see more groups come back, man, because we're never gonna see anything like a New Edition anymore. I don't think we're
Right.
never gonna. You're never gonna see that again. Um, Great Gladys Knight and the Pips. You're never gonna see that again.
Right. I mean,
You
it's kind
know.
of similar to this interview I saw with give me a second, his name, DC Young Fly, and he was
Uh huh.
basically saying that he does not see in this day and age a space where they could create a movie like Harlem Nights, where all the great comedians came together and they put egos and big money and stuff aside just to make a great film. It's just not set up that way anymore because everybody's more concerned about their individual bag, like you said.
You know what? You would hope that it could happen,
Yeah,
but Sometimes that's like I said, and I'll say it again. Everybody takes the highway. I go on the dirt road. I'll catch up with you later. I would do it. I would if I was a comedian. I would sacrifice, and I would even take some of my own money and to bring somebody on so we could do the project.
Right.
It's about making the sacrifices to make something great, and everything doesn't happen instantly. Some things just take time, man. And patience, perseverance, and time. So I would hope that they could do it, man. But but then again, we'll never see another Harlem Nights or Soul Men.
Yeah.
So now Soul Men is my movie with Bernie Mac and Samuel L. Jackson. Me and my
Oh,
wife, we watch that and we crack up every time we see it. So
right. Or even the rap version. Who's the man? Remember that movie?
yeah, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
The hip hop
Yep,
the honey.
yep. I remember that.
When you think of who's the man, we got classic hip hop. That's classic hip hop
Yeah,
that was in that movie.
yeah.
Absolutely.
What hip hop artists today can fit in those shoes that us older generation could sit and say, you know what, I could watch this. That's what we have to think about.
You got a point.
Yeah, we just have to, you know what? We just have to find the happy medium to where, because I think that there's a disjuncture between the youth and the older heads, and
Hmm.
we got to be able to respect each other and respect what they're doing, and then they respect what we're doing, and then we put it together and fuse it just to see what happens. Like, yo, let's put this together. Let's try this like this and see what happens. And that's why you're in the lab. That's why you're in the studio and you're working and you're writing, because everything you do is not going to be dope. and but it takes you to make the mistake to say, "Oh, no, that was bad. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's work on this. Let's try this again." So, you know, it, it, the camaraderie with the music is kind of lacking. So that's why when I get around good people and then let alone find out that they're involved in music and we can have a dialogue and conversation. I like to build good relationships with people, man. So it's all about building the relation. If you build a relationship, the art will flow.
Yeah, you're right. So we so busy talking, we
Hmm.
forgot the first segment of the show.
No, I'm sorry, my bad.
No, no,
I
no.
got
It's
No,
not.
no.
It's not you. It's not you. This is a good thing, though.
Absolutely.
This is a good thing. So the first segment of the show is the playlist where we play the music. But this is a good thing because we letting you tell let the people get to know who you are by asking you these questions.
no doubt, no doubt.
Definitely.
But we gonna get into one of your songs, and I wish I had I would love for E to hear Sex and Yo and One Sided.
He never heard those, huh? I
No,
tell you what, if
I
you
think I
can't
still
put them,
have it, but I gotta find it.
Okay.
yeah,
So
Well, when you do, please pass along. Like I said, from what I've heard thus far, yeah, I'm definitely feeling your music, bro. Definitely a good vibe. As
thank
everybody else about to find out when we playing for 'em.
thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you listening.
Absolutely.
so the first song we're gonna get into, and then you could tell us a little bit about the song,
Okay.
is Sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice. That's track one off the Funk Boogie Bang Volume One project.
So where was your mindset at creating that song?
Anything that you want out of life and it's good, you're gonna have to sacrifice to get there. There's no easy roads, especially if it's something that's worth having and worth doing. You're gonna make sacrifices. There's gonna be struggles. You're gonna have to overcome obstacles to get to where you're trying to go. No one can really go where you're going except for God. So when you're dealing with people, and sometimes you can see a road, and and people will tell you, "Nah, don't do that." But in your soul and in your heart, if you feel it in your subconscious mind and it's talking to you, you got to follow that. At least see it out. That way, if I see it out, without listening to what somebody else told me, I only have myself to blame, and I can live with that. But when you listen to someone else, it's like you give them the control. So Sacrifice is a song about, just sacrificing to get to where you're trying to go.
So if you ready, E, we would love to hear Sacrifice.
All right, y'all. Hopefully y'all like that. That was Sacrifice by Dre Rock. He is our special guest this evening. Everybody can unmute themselves now. We can get back to the discussion.
I like that. See, yeah, like the way you do music is different than what we hear today, but it still fits today.
I I can only my headphones went out. I can only attribute that to having parents that taught me to listen to everything, and I try to absorb everything and
put my spin on it musically. I never want to sound like anybody else. I want to do the best that I can to find my own niche and carve my way to where I can, you know, hopefully people when they hear my music, they'll know, hey, that's Dre Rock. That's Marguerite McDonald music recording artist Dre Rock. So I hope that I hope that it that that can continue to happen.
So your next song, Ride, I'm be asking you like your mindset, because I know each song is different, but so I know your mindset for each song had to be different.
Right out rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So I live in Charlotte, North Carolina now. It's an 8 hour drive straight up Interstate 77 to Cleveland. So I enjoy making the drive home to Cleveland. I would rather fly to Cleveland than drive. I mean, rather drive. I'm sorry. I'd rather drive than fly. Just the scenery, taking the ride, being on the open road at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, being able to think. You know, so it's a tribute to and also, what do we do on the weekends when it's payday? We pay our bills and we fill our gas tank up. We might get the car cleaned. Something about cleaning that car up. Something about cleaning that ride up. The car, or truck or whatever you drive, it just feels different. So when you worked and you paid your bills and your gas tank is full, it's time to mash out and roll.
All right, so let's get into that so the people can hear that. If you ready with that one, we would love to hear it.
Give me 1 minute, Rob.
All right.
Take, yeah, bro, my headphones went out on me. I don't know what happened. I was like, I didn't want to click off. But it's all good. I can hear you. I still can hear you a little bit, so it's cool.
Yeah, so your headphones went out, my camera went out. So you can't see me, but you can hear me.
But you know what? We gonna wing it. We gonna rock. We gonna still bring it through.
Yep.
We gonna make it do what it do.
All right, we ready? This is Ride Out Rolling by Dre Rock on the Indie Experience, y'all.
Sinners are now. Rolling, rolling. Pay my bills and the gas tank is full. Shit, I'm about to hop behind the wheel and put the slab on cruise and rolling. Pay my bills and the gas tank is full. Shit, I'm about to hop behind the wheel and put the slab on cruise and rolling. Right on the time is the unorthodox killer wide phone flow freaker, hammering these speakers. I stick a nail in the rail of the phone. We're riding the track, transcontinental to the outback. What type of flow is that? And how did you come up with that? Man, I don't know, I just do it. It oozes on the tracks. The grooves I use are certified funk bangers. Go ahead and cop you a lean in the glass house. Pay my bills and the gas tank is full. Shit, I'm about to hop behind the wheel and put the slab on cruise and rolling. Pay my bills and the gas tank is full. Shit, I'm about to hop behind the wheel and put the slab on cruise and rolling. Hit the gas, smash out. Midwest music, Pacific Northwest, East Coast, down south. Word of mouth got you talking about the fly old school guy who live by the code, the rules apply. Let's take the spaceship and fly to the funky land. No need for money, put away your bands. I got the remedy, everything's on me. You can ride for free, take a ride with me. Been in the corners, viewing life through the windshield. Every mile ahead brings forth new thrills. All points and destinations lined out through the Google map. My ETA is 3 more hours max. You can relax, kick your seat back, conversate while I ride. I can talk while I drive. We gliding out here all alone on this open road. The red sundress matches your open toes. You looking wonderful, beautiful, to my home state, I'm on operate. I hope you down to participate. Pay my bills and the gas tank is full. Shit, about to hop behind the wheel and put the slab on cruise. I'm rolling. Pay my bills and my gas tank is full. Shit, I'm about to hop behind the wheel and put the slab on cruise. I'm rolling. Right on, right on, right on. Yeah, do it. Roll out. Jump on 77 North. Take a ride to the best name. Cleveland, Midwest, future shot.
Ooh wee. Ooh wee. I like that.
Thank you.
I like
Thank you.
that.
I appreciate you listening.
Man, you familiar with Detroit, so you know we had these places here called Coney Island, right?
Yeah, I've heard Dwelle talk about Coney Island
Yeah,
in
so
the
if I
song.
was going to rename this song, I would call it Late Night Coney Run. Cause I could just see us playing that all the way to the Coney to get them chili cheese fries. Right in. Oh man, that's a good groove right there. Ro, you with us?
Yeah, I had myself on mute.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good,
Thank
you on the highway driving to your destination,
Mhm.
you coasting, that's a good vibe right there.
Absolutely.
I would say when you by yourself, because when you ride with other people,
Yeah,
they complain
they'll
about
be
the
talking too much. Like, be quiet now, chill. You feel
music.
bad. You just pass a little some, like, just
you.
run it on
Yeah,
out.
we just rolling, floating.
Exactly. Man, I like that.
So what's the because you got Bone Thugs and Harmony out of Cleveland. Their sound is definitely different. Your sound is different. So what would you call the Cleveland sound or the Ohio sound? What would you call it?
Well, Stu, man, it's so many. Listen, it's so many talented artists out of Cleveland. Um, shout out to my boys. I come from a crew of guys. Shout out to the Synchronized Beat Squad. That's Jazz Mart, Dom Synchro, and Rough Draft. We've been making music together since the '90s, mid '90s. Shout out to my man Stro Bolo too, Big Stro. I'm gonna have to send you some of Stro's music, and I'm gonna have to send you the Syncronauts work. Um, these were the guys that held me down in the '90s, and we're still friends to this day, and we still working and make music. So there's so many different sounds. For me, my sound is the funk boogie bang sound. So and that is a combination of being young as a kid, hearing music a certain way in my house, and saying when I got grown, I was going to capture that sound. And
Yeah.
so I've lived long enough to do that. But Cleveland is diverse. Um, one of my favorite artists out of Cleveland is a singer named Esther Fitz. She's incredible. Esther and uh what is her name? Ah, I slipped my name. Um, Here's one, Angel Dust. Angel Dust, she's dope. There's a lot of artists out of Cleveland, and there's a culmination of there's a sound. I'm a fan of Stally's work. I like Stally. Anybody Ohio.
and my man Stone the Butcher. He Stony Simpkins, Stone the Butcher. He's dope. So there's a lot of artists in Ohio and in Cleveland, you know, and everybody's kind of forging their way and doing what they do, man. So
All
I
right, yeah.
salute
Shout
to
out to
everybody.
Queen Gemini checking into the show. Her show Rumble Time comes on before this one. Hey, Queen, what's going on?
Yeah, hey Queen. Queen, her show is all about wrestling. She's a diehard wrestling fan.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
See me, I'm a diehard music. See, I'm diehard music. She diehard wrestling. So,
There you go.
Everybody got their niche. I love it.
Yeah, we all got our thing. We all got our little our thing that we enjoy.
Right.
'cause like you said, your sound comes from hearing what your mom played, what your dad played. You combine the two to create your sound. I'm the same way. My dad played doo wop. He played the old school R&B. You know, and he was in a doo wop group. Him and my uncle were in a group together. My dad left the group because he wanted to chase the girls. So my uncle stayed in the group, and him and his boys, they they were young when they started, and they snuck to the Apollo to perform. They was told not to, but they snuck anyway. Performed. They got discovered by a guy named Bobby Robinson, and Bobby Robinson started two labels back then. There's two. He owned two labels. One one was called Fire. I forgot what the other one is called. And when my uncle was telling me the story, he said, "You wouldn't believe who was on my label with me. Who was my label mate?" I said, "Who?" He said, "Before Gladys Knight became Gladys Knight, she was signed to the same label as him. They were label
See, that's
mates."
dope.
I said, "What?" Before she
That's
became Gladys Knight, the Pimps? I said,
see,
"What?"
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's
But
dope.
yep,
That should
his
be a
group,
trivia
they were
question.
called, his group dropped, back then they dropped the 45. They had the A side, B side, and his group was called the Tellers. And I was like, and my dad left the group. I said, "What? To chase girls?" I said, "Y'all got a record that he left the group to chase girls?" Like, so when he told me about the group, I went on the internet and I'm searching, and it came up. It was a site where you can buy, songs. No, you can't go to the record store and get it now. We ain't got no more record stores like we used to. But even if you went to a record store, you wouldn't be able to find it. These rare finds, and I found his song, the group's music, and I got it for him. Got it for him and my dad. He's like, "You found my music? You found my music?" I was like, "Yeah." And
That's dope.
Yeah.
when I listened to it, I was like, this, the A side was Tears Fell from My Eyes. The B side was called Run to You. And I was like, and as I'm listening, I'm like, I wonder if this could be recreated for today. Like, get somebody to sing the songs for today. But I was like, nobody sings doo-wop anymore. That's one genre you don't hear anymore. You do hear people, they harmonize and all that stuff, but you don't hear that doo-wop
Excuse me.
sound anymore. And I was like, this would be dope if this could be recreated, but for now, for it would still sound like doo wop, but it'd be like,
Right.
I guess you could say modern. And I was
Yeah.
like,
That's 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 funny that you said that. You know, your dad was in a doo-wop group because my uncle Bill told me that my mom was in a doo-wop group back in the day, and he actually told me that they were supposed to go to Detroit to try to cut a record, but my grandmother wouldn't let her go. So my uncle tells me, he told me, say, "Hey, you just getting a." My mother's nickname was Cookie, by the way. Nobody never really called her Marguerite. She was known by a nickname. But he told me, he said, "You just getting to do what Cookie, he said it's funny how things evolve. He said you just getting to live out what she didn't get to do." So yeah, man. So I feel you, and
She
I
never
think,
told you? She never
huh?
told you? Your
Say
mother
what now?
never told you? She never
My
told you
mother
she
didn't live long enough to we had that conversation. She died when I was 12,
Oh, sorry to hear that.
so she never
mm-hmm.
told me about her being in the group. It could have been that maybe it was the pain of not getting to do it. So maybe that was her way of pouring it into me. You know, spending all that time with little time we had together for 12 short years. A lot of that time was spent listening to music and vibing to music in the household. She played music every day, sometimes super loud all day. My father would be on the road. He was a truck driver. So it would be just me and mom at the house. So it's music, get the schoolwork done, and it was music. A lot of times I like being outside and enjoy playing with my friends and stuff, but I also like being inside. I know when mom's like when she's getting ready to start cleaning the house, we had an old stereo system. She used to load the arm of that thing up with 45 stacked up and just play all day, man. Just great music. I can honestly say she probably would have been a heck of a DJ because I never heard her play a whack record.
Me either. I've never heard my dad play a bad song. It's just that I didn't know who the artists were.
Right. Well, she taught me to read the album cover. I was reading album covers when I was a little boy, so you know, and she would break down songs, and tell me, what they listen. Which was he's got a broken heart. She did him bad. So I
Can,
I attribute my songwriting to her teaching me how to break down songs and analyze it. With that, that's one of my things. I can be in a displaced mood or a bad mood, sit down and listen to some music or write a song, and I'm good. That's my therapy. And I'm blessed to have that. A lot of people don't have out outlet like that. Some people's outlet is drugs, alcohol, whatever. Well, mine is
mhm.
music. Has always been music.
Same for me. Same for me. That outlet music is my outlet. I learn any genre of music I learn from my dad. And what's crazy is, so my dad and my uncles would always sing. They would, you know how your family get together, they like to drinking, and then
Yeah.
because my dad and uncle sing, my other uncle would come over, and them three would be in the living room singing, and my uncle be like, "You stepping on my note." You
Uh-oh.
stepping on my note.
Uh-oh. They sound like the five
Mhm.
heartbeats.
Uh-huh.
Oh shoot.
And because my uncle lived, I had an uncle that lived next door, and then my uncle lived with us because my dad didn't. We moved out here to New Jersey, so my dad, you know, he told my uncle he'd come stay with us, and so on the weekends, that's what they would. If it wasn't hanging in the city in New York City, we was here in the house, and they had their drinks. Then they'd be singing that doo wop. They would be singing, and what's crazy is I'm listening to them sing, and I'm like, what song are they singing? So I'm
Mm,
thinking this is a song that maybe they had done long time ago. And then I'm listening to the Manhattans. I say, you gotta be kidding me. This whole time they've been singing the Manhattans, and I'm thinking they're singing something they put together.
mm,
This whole time, the whole time they was singing, they singing the Manhattans because my uncle will always get my dad to sing, but he wanted to sing the Manhattans, and that's his favorite group.
Mhm.
yeah,
But I
that's what
never
that
knew
was.
that. I never knew that's what they were singing. Cause I'm just like listening. I'm like, oh, I like this song. I like this song. And then when I'm listening to the Manhattan, I said the whole time they've been singing the Manhattans and I didn't know it. I
They
was
had
like,
you fooled for a while till you did the research, huh?
yep. But that's my uncle always wanted to sing, and that's the song. But he always wanted to sing that song. I think my dad was tired of singing that song. But his one that besides the other Manhattan song he was singing, "Kiss and Say Goodbye," that was his song.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
my
his.
dad liked that record. My dad liked, you know what? Your dad and my dad probably would have vibed good. My dad liked those heartbreak songs. He loved the Stylistics. That was one of his favorite groups.
Yeah, my father, he was into Donny Hathaway, and
Oh yeah.
he used to tell us our uncle was Bill Withers.
Oh yeah. You can't lose with either one of them, man. That's timeless.
Oh yeah,
All
Yep.
that music is timeless.
absolutely.
My uncle's favorites, well, "The Kiss and Say Goodbye" and "The Wish You Were Mine" by the Manhattans. Those are the only two songs my uncle would sing by the Manhattans. But I didn't know "Wish You Were Mine" was a Manhattan song because the way they would sing it.
Mm.
Hmm.
Until I heard it, it was like, oh, that's what they've been singing. So that song became a favorite of mine. So I love to sing that song too. Because of them, I love to sing that song too.
And that's cool that they put their own little spin on it. So it kind of made it that own. It was almost like they was when someone sings a cover tune. When you go out here, somebody doing a cover tune, they put their own spin on it. So that's pretty cool that they were doing that, man. That's
Yeah.
cool. I'm sure it was a fun time in your household whenever they got together.
Yes.
Because it was at my house when my mom and my uncles would come by, or just me and my mom we would walk up the street. So my dad's brother lived up the street from us, and so his wife and my mom, they were like best friends. So my aunt Doreen, and they would sit down, play their 45s. They would swap 45s. My mom would be like, Cookie, she may call. I got this record. I got a new record. Well, bring it on up here. Okay. She put her name on it. I'm gonna swap out. Let me take this record. Let me get that Johnny Taylor. They'll swap out and sit there and drink their vodka and orange juice and laugh and talk and play the songs, man. You know, I my aunt Doreen's house was the first time that I ever heard Minnie Riperton on the radio. I thought
Mm.
that 'cause she would like I was a little kid, so Aunt Doreen would fix me a sandwich, sit me at the kitchen table. She had a little old school radio, with a little plastic dial on it. And I remember I was sitting there eating my sandwich, and the first time I heard Minnie Riperton, and she hit them notes, man, it just did something to me as a kid. And I always loved Minnie Riperton, man. I'm not ashamed to say it. When she died, I cried when she died. I
Mm.
sure did.
Yep, I cried when Bill Withers died, and it was during the pandemic too, so it really hit different.
Yeah, pandemic was a rough time, man.
Yeah,
We
it
lost
was
people as well.
absolutely.
Yeah. Because my love of music come from my dad and my uncle, and it's like groups I don't like, especially doo wop. You would think at a young age that's not a genre that a young person would want to sit and listen to, but I don't mind sitting and listening to some doo wop. And you get some great songs from doo wop, and you get great technique, vocal
Mm,
technique from a lot of these artists, and that was in the genre doo wop because it was all a cappella. See, that's what these things now don't understand. You may say, "Oh, that was old." You know how they say that's old, but when you think about it, if you listen to doo wop, it'll help you with your vocals.
they were vocal exercises. They were vocal. They were vocal exercises, man. They trained the way they trained themselves. It was almost you got those entertainers from the 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s on up to the 80s. They were flawless, and they were flawless entertainers. I went to a my wife and I went to a concert a few years back, and let's just say that there was a lot of newer acts out there, and they did track dates. That's just when you play your music and you sing in the mic.
Mm.
The Whispers came out there and shut the whole thing
Mm.
Yes,
down.
I've seen the Whispers live.
So
Mm.
Yes,
you
I
know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They got busy. I mean, they was up in it. I mean, it was, man. Me and my wife we was out there jamming, man. And they were moving better than the younger artists, you know.
I mean,
But you
they
know, that's
come
that experience. That's that. It's an innate ability to call on it at an instant and do it. And
right. They come
man,
from that Motown era because even
yeah,
on the days when they weren't on the road and whatnot, they had rehearsals every day for hours at a time, just working on their
yep,
craft. People for the
yep.
most part don't do that anymore.
Yeah. I wish people get back to, you know, you like working on their vocals, getting a vocal coach.
Hmm.
Cause just cause you sound good on the record don't mean you're gonna sound good live.
Exactly.
I still,
And I feel like that's even more important now because that's how most artists are really getting their money by doing the concerts and so on.
hmm you know something I still haven't grasped it yet. I don't understand, and I know it's a new era, and I know it's technology, and I respect that. But I don't understand paying all that money for a ticket to go to a concert and watch somebody through your phone that's on stage instead of watching with your own eyes.
Yeah,
I just I can't get it. I can't get used to that. You know, I can see if you're using the light for the phone, like put your hands in the air and everybody's phone is lit and it's like a candle. But just to be at a concert and just have your phone up like this and you watching them and you're not watching what's happening on the stage, I don't understand that one.
see,
I mean, I
I
can
did
hear.
that.
Yeah, go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
I did that when I went to see Prince. Me and my mother, we went to see Prince when he was at Madison. I think Madison Square Garden. I didn't tape the whole show. I just, taped enough so when I'm ready to post to social media to let people know where I'm at, they could see Prince performing live. And I also did it when we saw Ruben Studdard. Post a little bit so people know I'm live watching Ruben Studdard because that's when he did. He was doing a night of Luther Vandross. He was doing his tribute to Luther, and me, my mother, my sister went to see that, and it was an excellent show. But I didn't do it the whole night. I know I see people do it the whole night, and it's like, what was the purpose of spending $100 and something just to do that when you right there? Yeah, you could take a snippet, but don't do the whole show.
Yeah, I think, I think we're an age and time where everybody everything isn't a video moment. And I think that we have to get better as a people with understanding that this is a digital print. And once it's there, it's there, just like we're right now. I can't take this back. Once it's there, it's there. So how do you want to be how do you want to be seen and recognized? I think that we've also, everybody has a me complex. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I don't all my years of making music, I have one video and that's buried. I you know, I was in the studio in a time where if you were in the studio, you you had to really be doing something for somebody to even ask you or want to put some money into you to go into the studio. Now everybody has a home studio. I have a home studio, but it doesn't take away from, you know, the music. We when we went to the studio and I can attest to this, even my buddies back in Ohio, we try to record like we was never gonna get to record again. And I still do that to this day. I try to record like this is gonna be my last time ever being in the studio. Um, so everything has become a a viral video moment. I mean, you got people. If an old woman falls down in the street now, she got to worry about somebody putting her on the camera going instead of somebody helping her up out the ground. People will start filming you before they help you. So it's just a different time. It's just a different era. So we have to adapt to what it is.
So when you write, do you listen to the music to write, or do you write without the music?
I can I can do it either way. If I get something real heavy on my mind, I'll write about it, put it to a rhythm in my head. Sometimes I get a lot of tracks. I let the track when I'm using the process of one of my producers on my production team when they send me a track like Dre, I thought about you this track, okay, pop it on. I listen to the track to see what it's saying, how it's going. How can I
Hmm.
vocally? The track is going like this, so I'm trying to interweave and intertwine in and out of that groove, and I find my pocket, and I let it. If it feels good, there's a certain feeling I get. I get this feeling in my heart, in my chest. I know I'm supposed to put lyrics on it. There's been times where I I've listened to some music and I didn't want to put nothing on it because the music was so beautiful. I was like, that would be disrespecting the music. So it's different techniques, different ways that I write. But that's one of them. With the getting the track, I'm always excited. For me, getting the track from one of my producers is like, you remember when you was a kid and you wake up to open your presents. Yeah, I can't wait to open that. Let's see what he said. Oh yeah, I'm gonna work on this. So yeah, man, I still have that same zest and feel that I had when I was a 10-year old kid and my father bought me my first tape recorder. I still have that same feeling, about music. And I said to myself that if I ever lose that feeling, then that means I'm not supposed to be making music anymore. So far so good. God's been blessing me all these years to be creative and keep making music. I've seen more downs than ups, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. This is my road. This is the road I chose to go down with my life and with music, and I'll continue to make music until I'm no longer here.
So, what do you now? I had the question I was about to ask you, then I just lost it that quick. Because they say after a certain amount of years, an artist is what when it comes to rappers, they say after let's say like 10 years they washed up that they shouldn't be making music anymore. So what do you say? Because you're past the 10 years, you're not you know the young Dre Rock when you started out. Now you're
Hmm.
older, but you're still making music. So what do you say to those people who think that you shouldn't be making music because you're
Well,
older?
do they tell the Rolling Stones that? Do they tell Pink Floyd that? You know what I mean? They don't tell them that. Why is it that when it comes to black music, our genre, there's a time frame, there's a limit. If you're making music and it's good music and people want to hear it, make the music. There's always, I have thick skin when it comes to stuff like that because I'm going to do what I do regardless. I don't care what anybody else is saying. And for every person that doesn't like you, there's somebody out there that does like what you do. You just have to find the people that like what you do and you cater to them. So I'm going to keep making music. I don't know. I don't know about the rest of the people, or I could care less what they say. I'm going to continue to, you know, God blessed me with the ability to make music, so I'm going to make music until I can no longer do it. When it's time for me to expire, that's why I'm going to be recording Funk Boogie Bang volumes until I check out of here. So each year or two there'll be a Funk Boogie Bang. God's will, I can get the Funk Boogie Bang 20 or 30, something like that. So I'm just going to keep going, man.
But for me, when they say that question, I'm like, but you don't make music for the older generation. So to tell someone who's older they shouldn't be making music anymore because it's a young man's game. Well, you got to think of the older generation. What are you doing for them? If a young man's game and you're a young man, where's the songs you making for the older generation?
I think that they don't realize. I think that a lot of, not all of them. And I'm not going to be the guy that comes on here and bash my youth because I love my youth. I love the youngsters out there, the ones that they call me Uncle Dre, so it's cool. Uncle Dre rocks, it's cool. But I'll say this, that they don't real so some of them don't realize that you're not going to have that youth forever. One day you're going to be an old man if you live long enough. If God allows you the ability to live that long, so it's being able to see around the corner. And I think a lot of them can't see around the corner because but then it goes back to because with this technology and tablets, everything is now. Everybody wants everything now, and some things in life have to materialize. It takes time. The greatest thing that my father ever taught me was patience. So I have patience, and I take my time. That's one of the things he used to always tell me. He said, Andre, he said, it's an old quote. You may have heard it before. He used to say, only fools rush in where wise men dare trot. So I try to live by that. All my dad's sayings and stuff. I lost him in 22. My father passed on New Year's 2022. But I've got a lifetime of memories with my dad, and he taught me a lot. And he gave me a lot of gems through my life. When I was young, of course, I was hard headed. I didn't listen all the time, and had to be taught lessons. And you know, when he needed to, got out of line. He got the belt, was switching with the work. you know, but I'm thankful for those times that I needed some straightening, as he would say. Need some straightening, son. I'm gonna give it to you. you know, uh, uh, yeah, man. I just think that the kids don't understand because they've got so much in the now in their face with technology that they don't understand that some things no matter how bad you want it to come quick, it's not. It's gonna take some time. You know, and I think once that they learn that, the maturation of some things that you know takes time to cultivate and build, I think it'll get better.
So we're gonna get into Radius, your song Radius. Tell the people about what came about
so
for that
radius,
song.
so radius is about that. If you got a significant other, sometimes when you don't even have to be up close on it. When they just get in the vicinity of where you at, you get the little jitters. It's like when you was a young boy or girl, and you would you might be in high school and you see your girlfriend walking down the hall, and you see her, you light up, or for the girls when they see their boyfriend, whenever you get in the vicinity of that person, it just do something to you. That magical flutter feeling. So you know, I still get that feeling when I see my wife. Sometimes, we, you know, so it's kind of tribute to her, and just a just a funky jam to make the guys, kind of vibe with their lady, without it being a vulgar jam. It's a lot of vulgar, and I don't knock it. If that's what you do, that's cool. It's just not what I do, and I don't knock it. I respect all genres of music. I was taught to respect and pay attention to all genres of music. But for me, I like the funky little love jams. I remember the '80s little love jams and stuff. Um, Another great artist was Michael Henderson. I like Michael Henderson. He had the song "Geek You Up." We are here to geek you up. I used to love that joint. All his joints was bad. But yeah, Radius is you know, when just hanging out, when you hanging out with your significant other, you glad that you're in the vicinity, they're in the radius where y'all can communicate, and have a good time.
So let's get into that one. E.
Alrighty, this is Radius by Dre Rock.
When I tell you I love you, that means you occupy a certain area in my heart. You really do. And I don't give a damn about them other broads, them chicks is frauds. You are my superstar. You were shining, gleaming, glowing. When you be doing your thing, I just like to chill, lay back in the cut and just let you be who you are. You move independently, you handle your biz, but still making time for me. Come on. I Yes, and I want you with me all the time, babe. You still love showing up that you're in my radius. And I want you with me all the time, babe. I still showing up that you're in my radius. And I want you with me all the time, babe. You still love showing up that you're in my radius. Want you with me all the time. Working hard trying to get your paper straight. So when you get off, let's plan a quarantine getaway. A staycation at the crib with you, watching Netflix, Hulu, YouTube. Pour you a drink to set the mood. You can let your head down, ain't nobody but us around. You know I like the way you get down when you get down. I like the way you get down when you get down. Hey, it's safe with me. Speak easy, feel fancy free. Shake a little something, do your dance with me. Take your time and pick it up and drop it down. Cause you're so fine. I don't never you're in my radius. And I want you with me all the time. That you still love showing up you're in my radius. And I want you with me all the time. Do it, girl. You got me feeling so good right now. I want to get down and do my little funk dance. Can I do it? You want to see me do it? I said, girl, you got me feeling so good. I want to get down and do my little funk dance. Can I do it? You want to see me do it? But first, we gonna take it to Cleveland, Detroit, New York, LA, London, Chicago. We gonna take it to Cleveland, Detroit, New York, LA, London, Chicago. Can't forget about the CLT. Come on, ladies and ladies. Detroit, New York, LA, London, Chicago. We gon' take it to Cleveland, Detroit, New York, LA, London, Chicago. Echoes, what's happening? I'm still floating in the motherfucking in my radius. And I want you with me all the time, babe. You still love showing up that you're in my radius. And I want you with me all the time, babe. I'm still flowing up that you're in my radius. And I want you with me all the time, babe. You still love showing up that you're in my radius. I want you with me all the time.
All right, that is Radius by Dre Rock. I like that. What I like about what I'm hearing from you is you have your own style that you've put out in terms of your music, but it doesn't loan itself to just being the same old song over and over again or the same just tone throughout. There's different levels to your artistry. So, this song is different than that song, which is different than that song. So, it's like, how we grew up with music, where we hear artists and, the whole album was an experience because it wasn't just the same thing over and over and over again. So I really like that about it.
Yep. You play it for your wife often?
My wife, because she has to put up with me and my music. So if she hear the song over and over, you know, at first she didn't understand, but then she was, oh, okay, he's working on it. He's working out the kinks of it. But it can drive somebody batty. You hear a song, I might put a track on in here in my studio and just let it play all day. I might go out to the garage, in the kitchen, whatever, but the track is playing, and as it's playing, I'm formulating in my head, and I play my stuff back, not because I just want to sit up and listen to myself. I'm always listening again and again to see what could I've done better. How could I? Okay, okay. I hear a flaw here. Sometimes, nuances and flaws create a certain texture, but you have to, there's a thin line with it. And so I'm always listening to see what I could have done better on the song. How could I made it better? Okay, if I get a remix, let's see if we can, let's take this song. It has this feeling, but let's try to get a remix on it and give it a whole nother feeling than what that first feeling was, but still use some elements of the first feeling, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, she had to she had to put up with my music. It's so she gets it. You know, she gets it, and she just let me do my thing. I just try to you know I had to learn though. You know, we've been married for 24 years, almost 25 years, so I had to learn to balance my time with the music. I wasn't always good at that. You know, even when I was younger, I lost girlfriends because once I found out, oh, you can't deal with my music, you can't deal with me. I'm out. I don't care. I find you as how bad you are. Cute, whatever. I'm going to rehearse. I'm going to practice. So I've always had that stick to itness working with on my music, and I knew that I had to at least find somebody in my life if I was going to get married that could tolerate it. You know, so yeah.
Because I guess you could say for women when you dating a musician, their music is the other woman.
You know, that's funny you said that. Oh man, I had a funny story to tell. I don't even want to say it. So you just brought me back to something. So I was dating this girl one time, but I'm gonna leave your imagination. I was dating this, I was dating this broad one time, and she told me, she said, "Yeah, you gonna put that music down, cause that music ain't got no." We just gonna leave that there, all right?
Mhm.
And guess what
We,
happened?
we,
Guess
we
what
get
happened to her?
she
I'm
gone.
still here, ain't I?
Oh,
Oh. Your wife said that?
No, no, it wasn't
Oh,
her.
oh,
This was way before I met my wife. This was a girl I
oh.
was dating, and she
No,
thought
I
because
thought
she
maybe
had a
your wife said that to you.
nah, she never said that to me. But this was a girl. I was younger. This was way years before I met my wife, and she thought that she could sway me with that. And I was like, I'm good. Uh you know, like I said, I'm still here. I don't know where she is, but me and the music's still here. And hats off to her. I wish her the best. I hope she's doing great.
That's how you know she wasn't your forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it was a situation where every time that I wanted to go work on music, she get an attitude or come up with something. I need you to go do this. I need this. Can you do this? Can you do this? I tell her days in advance. Hey, I got Friday night. I'm going boom, boom, boom. We can go out Saturday. And she wanted, it was, different stuff like that. It's part of growing up, man, and finding yourself. It's not even a slight on her, man. We were young and figuring it out, man. You know. So like I said, I wish her the best wherever she is. I hope she's doing great, whatever career path that she chose.
Yeah. So how did you like let the people know how you came up with your name, Dre Rock? We
Well, that's kind of a two-part answer. Everybody, my name is Andre, so all my buddies call me Dre, and my buddies used to always say, "Dre, man, you rocked it, man, you rocked that," you know. So And I like, and when I was growing up, my favorite female MC was Sha Rock. So it's kind of a from the, what from, it was kind of a tribute to her as well. You know, because I'm from the era where you had to sit by the radio all day just to hear that one rap song.
Yep.
And Sha Rock was the Sha Rock and Angie Stone, rest Angie Stone. So, gonna funk you right on up. We're gonna funk, that, because and I like that it was because of Sha Rock because the women are so important in music and hip hop. So that was my way of showing paying homage to her as well because she was a dope MC. And she was
Mhm.
Sha Rock was light before MC Light.
Mm.
And Angie Stone was dope, man. So,
Oh yeah.
you
Yep.
know, and it's good to see Sha Rock. She's on Facebook. And I don't know if she remembered, but I told her that, my name is I chose the name Dre Rock because of you. And she was dope. You gotta realize that's the 70s, early 80s. She was the only female in that group and she was holding it down. You got others like Vanessa and Quiz, it's a whole bunch of other female MCs, but Sha Rock was that one. She was dope. And so was Angie Stone and her group. They were dope, man.
And that's to pay homage. It's good when you pay homage
Yeah,
because
it feels good. It feels to know where it comes from. You know, it feels good to know. This is something. Music is a You can be isolated with the music, but at some point you've got to connect and work with others. I love working with other people. I love doing features. You know, I love doing features on projects and stuff when I can. I do voiceover work as well. But so whenever you know, whenever I get the opportunity and people want me on their record, I feel like it's an honor and a privilege that because they could have chose anybody else, but it's that one little thing that I do that they like and they want that. So I make sure that it's not about me when I'm doing a feature. It's about the record. What can okay, this person wants me, what can I give to this record? I never liked songs that I can remember back in the day, MC would get on a song and just be rapidy rapping and it's the rhyme's not even about what the song's about. I didn't understand that. But it was dope and okay, that's cool. But I try to when I'm attacking the project with somebody and I'm doing a feature, I want to do my best to give them what they need and what they're looking for, what they felt, and what they hear in their head. It's kind of like the same thing with voiceovers. When you're doing voiceovers, you're hired to do a commercial. The client has certain thing in their sound that they want in their head that they want their commercial to sound like. It's up to you to figure out and tap into that. So I enjoy I enjoy featuring and then having other artists, feature on my stuff. Two of my favorite MCs aren't even, I have a lot of favorite MCs in the industry, but two of my favorite MCs are independent MCs. That's my boy Bolo, Astro Bolo, and my boy iRock Omega. That's that I got the chance to record with iRock and I, and both of them we always wanted to record it together, and then years later it finally happened.
the funk boogie bangs. That song is. I know iRock is on that. Is Bolo on that one as well?
Yeah, Funk Boogie Bang Synopsis. Yeah, iRock is on that one. We met in Anchorage, Alaska. He was in a group called PBL back in the day. I was in a group called Smooth Flow Posse, and then I was also in a group called Too Fresh Production, and I did solo stuff too. But iRock was dope MC, and I remember going to a high school talent show to see him perform, and just the way he just rocked was just dope. And then I found out he was from Chicago. I was like, oh, that's dope. No wonder the vibe there. So we always said that we were going to work together. And then years later, I went back up to Anchorage, and he came by my parents' house, by my dad and my stepmom's house, and we talked about working. It took a couple more years, but then when I did he had a song that he wanted that he did with he had at one time my rock was signed and he had worked out a deal. Somehow he had vocals from Snoop. So he asked me if I wanted to be on the song called "It's All on You," and I said sure. He said, "Man, can you bring that Ohio funk thing? How you do the hooks and sing the hooks?" I said, if that's what you want me to do, I'll do it. So I did it. I didn't get all excited because he had Snoop on the record. I knew I had to play my part and do what I was supposed to do. Snoop is a super megastar. You know, I just had to make sure what IROC wanted me to bring to that record, I brought to it, and he liked it, he enjoyed it, and it got good reviews on SoundCloud and everything, and yeah, so yeah, so he's on this song. The next song you're probably gonna play is called Funk Boogie Bang Synopsis. So it was a joy to have him on the record with me, and we did the Funk Boogie Bang Synopsis.
So let's get into that. Eve, you ready?
All right, give me a second. We will pull it right on up for you. You are now listening to the Indie Experience. We are with recording artist Dre Rock. He is tonight's special guest. We are into the playlist, having this great discussion with this brother, and we are about to play his song Funk Boogie Bang Synopsis. This is Dre Rock featuring Rock Omega, and we should be hearing that momentarily here on the Indie Experience.
So while we wait for the song, what is the music scene like in Alaska?
You'd be surprised. So it's eclectic. It's a lot of different people up there, different styles. You know, um, the time that I was there, it was a brotherhood, it was a camaraderie. We all got along and we all did different styles of music. I brought my Cleveland, Ohio funk sound up there. Shawnee B and his brother Rashid, rest in peace, Rashid. They were from New York. They were New Yorkers, so they brought the New York. You know, Rashid had a flow like Rakim, so he brought that up there. And Shawnee B's tracks was dope. He was doing the era when Coogee rap. He did tracks like that. So you had PBL, Privilege by Law, where IROC was in PBL with KJ and them. There was a group called H2O with Richland. There was the girls up there. Strictly Biz was the female girls group. Khalees and her dance team and her girls. They were dope, man. It was just a Ice Cube. There was, Maurice Milton went by Ice Cube. DT the Black Messiah. There's so many different, you know, so many different groups up there in Anchorage. And when I arrived in Anchorage in '84, I didn't know that they had a hip hop scene. I went out one night and said, okay, so I'll be all right, because I didn't want to leave Cleveland, but my father got a good job up there, and he decided to get us out of, get me out of Ohio, get me out of Cleveland. He wanted me to expose me to more than just, people hanging out on the corner and stuff. So, but I always knew I was going to go back home to Cleveland. So, this is how, when I got to be a grown man, I moved back to Cleveland, and I made my bones on the underground. I had the pleasure of meeting DJ Lord Jazz from the legendary hip hop group Lords of the Underground. He's one of my inspirations, and he I was at the Underground show, and he just walked up to me and said, "Hey man, you're dope. Don't stop doing what you're doing." So whenever I would have periods where things weren't going good with the music, I can always remember what Jazz told me, and I borrow from that. And to this day, I had the honor years later working with him, being on one of his Plain Dealer 2 projects. So um, most definitely, I'm actually on a song called Blackmail with Rest in Peace Young Noble and Planet Asia. So yeah,
Well, all
it's
right, we are ready. This is Funk Boogie Bang Synopsis. Dre Rock featuring Rock Omega.
Sure as the cold snow blow off of Lake Erie. I drop rhymes with vision and fury, the judge and the jury of my own circumference, which means I control my destiny effortlessly. You checking for me? I already been there. I'm 5 steps ahead of you. All you see is my residue. I'm telling you, I got the feel for this funk, and they ain't come to see you, cause it's me that they want. So methodically, I step up, speaking the mic, with the pure intentions of shedding some insight. A dim light eventually blows out, but I'm halogen. I'm back to do my thing and run this funk flow mal again. You wanna ride with me, just hop on in. I put it in gear and get the funk up out of here. In the 1500 Dodge Ram, I like to cruise. Turn up the sound, zone 7 is my muse. The programmers examine the way they get down and do a thing. And I ain't worried about the next man, I'm in my own lane. My mama taught me a long time ago to just get down and do a thing. I carry the heavy load and drop it off. This is the funk I'm gonna bring. Yeah. Now I done been up and I've been down. I rock Omegas to Elias, but my mama named me Christian Brown. I went from bare ass courage to balling out of control, to cheating with no rubber and numerous coochie holes, to robbed at 22 but in the hospital. 4 biological children plus 1 and 1 possible. Can't break the cycle of my dad, I was going mad. Therapeutic lyrics memorized from the pen and pad. This is my getaway, still I can go on, but I ain't trying to flip a feature into my song. So I'm back to the money even though I never left it. Call myself a go-getter cause I'm always trying to get it. In the booth or in the streets, even on the 9 to 5. No surrender, no retreat, I stay striving to survive. Now this mission is complete and you done seen it come alive. I rock, Dre rock, the mic check, Enterprise. All right, I've been behind the scenes working on it, building my brand for this funky moment. I don't give a damn about what you think or what you say. You try to hinder me, get out the way. Got a lot of work to do and my time is limited. Papa Joe told me you start a job, you finish it. So I'm gonna be here until it's my time to go. Relentless, consecutively, continuous. I ain't gonna lie to you, chasing my dream, my life's been hectic and strenuous. But I was taught to never give up or self-destruct. Your back's against the wall, get your weight up. With God first, I can do anything. Yeah, with God first, I can do anything. So it's the funk that I bring. The programmers examine the way you get down and do a thing. And I ain't worried about the next man, I'm in my own lane. My mama taught me a long time ago to just get down and do your thing. I carry the heavy load and drop it off. This is the funk I'm gonna bring.
All right, that was Funk Boogie Bang Synopsis. Dre Rock featuring I Rock Omega. Uh, again, have yet to hear nothing whack tonight. All good, all to the good. It's just that one. It seemed like it just wasn't long enough. Just when I was really starting to feel the good vibe of it, it cut off on me. Like, oh man, that's it.
I'll
That's
be
all we
back. And
got.
look, it's volume 2 coming out. I'll be back.
That was like let me hit the blunt. Let me hit again. Oh, ain't no more blunt? Dang.
Oh, and one more thing too. I gotta make sure that I shout out my man, Timothy Witcher. Y'all don't know. Timothy Witcher is one of the biggest supporters and producers on my projects, my music. Tim always support me down here in North Carolina. He gave me a place. He opened up his home. He had a home studio. He opened up his home and allowed me just to be me. And he actually produced Ride Out Rolling. I played the bass line on Ride Out Rolling. Tim put the meat of the track together. He's like, Dre, it needs something. The bass line, boom, boom, boom. So I gotta shout Tim out, man, because I can't. I would feel bad if I did a whole interview and didn't shout him out, because he he's always let me come up to Salisbury, North Carolina, to his studio and just have my way in the studio, and we worked together, and I did my full length album 2026. I mean 2016. Yeah, beginning of 2026. But anyway, 2016, the Therapy Sessions album was recorded at his home studio at Unique Production. So that's another one if you want to check out, you can check that out too. But I'm so thankful and humbled that y'all are feeling the music tonight. I appreciate you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
Glad to have you here.
me, I miss doing the radio thing. So all the good artists that I was playing, you know, I can, now, doing the podcast, I could bring them up. People get to know about them, get to hear that great music. But when you out of doing radio, you can't play. I can't play like I used to where I just let it ride and people hear it, and if I like it, I play it again. When I debut, I play it in the beginning. It's the first song of the night, and then when it get towards the end of the show, I play it again, so they get to hear what was debuted and who the artist is. But now that I'm out of radio, I don't
Well, you
get to
know
do
what?
that anymore. But with the podcast, I get to do that with the playlist. I get to
Yeah,
give them all your music. They get to hear different versions of you. You know, they
it's
get to
just a
know
different
about.
presentation of the music. That's all. You know what? We get comfortable. I'm guilty of it too. We all get we were all feeling like Blog Talk was gonna be around forever. Like, I think Blog Talk was making was smoking and making some noise and maybe AM FM radio, the powers that be, like, "Yeah, we gotta stop this because everybody Blog Talk was the way to go." So, but you know
Yeah,
what? You know what? And it felt like a bad time for you, Road. But I tell you what, my dad used to always say, "Son, something good sometimes can come from something bad." So it was a bad spot for you, but look at you now. You up rolling. You got your producer with you. I mean, y'all vibing. This is a comfortable place to be. I like being here with y'all. I want to come back again. Can we do it again tomorrow?
yeah. Well, he ain't available on Wednesdays because he does the sports show with the other his co-host Hugh Lee, and they straight sports talk on
Uh,
Wednesdays.
no, actually, Spray Sports Talk is Coach V's show on
No,
Fridays.
no, I'm saying that y'all talk straight
Yeah,
sport.
gotcha. But yeah,
I'm just letting
Google
him know
Sports
that.
Section is our show on Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Tomorrow we'll be talking about the usual NFL stuff, the trade deadline, but also we'll get into a preview of men's and women's college basketball as well.
That's what's up. That's good. Hey, there's a college basketball player. I don't know if you heard of it, E. This girl handles Kilomi McMillan.
Formerly, she played for Rutgers. Now she's
She
over there
she
at Penn
played for
State.
Rutgers. Who that girl? Man,
Yeah, I'm very familiar with McCombie Miller. Yeah, apparently there was some issue with her and the coach, and she went ahead and hit the transfer portal. She's over there at Penn State right now. I'm very looking forward to seeing what she's gonna get done.
yeah. I pray that she stays healthy. I pray
Absolutely,
that she's coachable. I pray all good. When it's dealing with the youth, man, I'm not slighting the youth. I want to see them win. So
right.
I know she's gonna be in the WNBA.
Oh yeah, like I said, we definitely have a emphasis on women's sports over there at our sports show because I I started out in college. On the one hand, I was a DJ, so that's where this makes sense. But also, I was a sports reporter for the school
That's what's up.
newspaper, and my beat was women's basketball. So I began to develop a love for it even then.
That's what's up, man.
I
That's
gotta check her
yeah,
out.
man. We got to show love to the ladies, man. Most definitely.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Asia for winning. Let's go, Asia
Mhm.
Wilson.
Shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. Yep,
You know it. I got
absolutely.
I got family out in Vegas. My cousin lives out in Vegas. Shout out to my cousin Rod. He lives out in Vegas.
All right.
I think I'm gonna have to take a trip out there and go to an Aces game because
Nice.
Asia be balling, man.
Oh,
I love the
absolutely.
way she play.
Absolutely. Most definitely the best player in the W right now.
Yep,
So we getting into our next segment, which is the spotlight segment, and normally we go into commercial, but we're just gonna jump right into the next segment. And Dre is gonna tell us about his label, the Marguerite McDonald Music. That's what we
Ah,
spotlighting his record label right now, Marguerite
so
McDonald Music.
so I formed Marguerite McDonald Music as a tribute to my mom. 'Cause I spent some, you know, you got to realize I only had her for 12 years. So from the time I was maybe 5, early 5, maybe I might say 4 or 5, I was introduced to music through her. And from that time until she expired in 81, it was music, 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 music. You get your homework done, you can listen to some music. Get in the car, it's music. It was music. So I my mother got to see me at a talent show one time when I was in what, 5th grade, 6th grade. We were singing and cooling the gang, get down on it. So, but she never seen me as a teenager or grown man making music, and I carry her with me, so I wanted to have a home for my music and put her name out there to the world because this is where it comes from. And so I formed Marguerite McDonald Music. Uh, I was able to get my publishing. You know, um, Went through the bumps and bruises of learning, being signed and not signed to another independent. It wasn't until I decided to take my music in my own hand because I knew I had to do that with her name resting on it. I'm very, 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 very guarded and meticulous about what I do as an artist under Marguerite McDonald Music because I never want to shame my mother's name because she's not here to defend herself. And then you put my dad in the equation with the jazz part of me, you know. So I remember I signed to a label one time. My father took me to the airport. He said, "Son, just promise me you won't be doing all that crazy ranting, raving, cussing, calling women bitches and whores." I said, "Dad, I don't really cuss in my music." At that time, I was rhyming, but I might have one cuss word. Then I was like, you know what? I don't even need to cuss no more. I took it out. So kept that promise to pops too. But yeah, so my mom, if you if you go to the Marguerite McDonald Music page, uh, when you click on that page on Facebook, that's my mother when she was a teenager sitting on the floor with her records. And I gotta find it. There's a record in that picture that says the Ink Spots, a group called the Ink Spots. I need to find what they sounded like. I'm pretty sure it's probably a doo-wop group. But that's one of the logos that I have besides the Triple M. It's going to be her picture with the old black and white of her. So I formed it as a means for me to control my music. So no one can tell me the sound in my head how to make that. It always amazed me how labels would sign an artist to, because of they sound one way, but then when they put their money into them, they make them change their sound. And then when they change their sound and the records don't sell, then they wind up shelving them or dropping them from the label. So I said the only way for me to cure that and not have to deal with that and make music on my own accord, and when I want to, is to, you know, how to dig in and learn through the bumps and bruises how to put my own music out by myself. I don't have a staff. I'm a sole proprietorship. I have people that will come on and help me and work with me, but I don't have a staff. I kind of use the old motto like Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin when they ran Def Jam out their dorm room. I run Triple M out my house. You know, I run Triple M on my phone and my tablet. I'm not a stationary big computer guy unless I'm dealing with the two screens that are, you know, when I'm working on music. But yeah, so I had to do everything. And you know what? I'm glad because I get to see the record from the ground up, and I own my publishing. It's important that I do that because nobody can tell me what to do. I can make my own type of deal with my music if I choose to, or I can just sit on it. So I don't have a label breathing down my neck saying, "Okay, you got to get this album or this. Just we need this song by tomorrow. We need it. Boom, boom, boom." And I can take my time. Now, don't get me wrong. When I do certain things with voiceover, that's you know somebody may ask me to hire me to, or book me to do something. That's different. But as far as my creativity is, saying, okay, you know what? I think I need to start working on this project. Okay, I'm gonna work on this here, and I like to take my time. I might take 5, 6 months, sometimes a year, before I release something, release a song or an album or project. It might take longer than that, but guess what? Nobody can rush me. And while I'm working on that, they've got other music that they've heard from me, so that ties them over. Um, so I don't, slow and steady wins the race. My dad always taught me. So I just take my time, and this is a tribute to mom for all the beautiful days, and I'm glad my uncles are alive to see it. One of the greatest things, I got a text from my mom's baby brother. He was like, Cookie would be proud of you. He said, I'm gonna buy some merch from you. And my uncles bought, buy some merch, and my cousins got some merch. That's one of the hardest things too. Sometimes to get your family to buy into what you're doing, but you have to keep going. And it's not about I'll show you. It's just, hey, okay, you find the people that are gonna support the music and stuff. So I you know, I wear these triple M's on my shirt, on my sweatshirt, respectfully, in honor of my mom. And I do the best I can to never make a whack song, because my mother, she listened to some incredible music, and I was able to pick that up. So, I formed it for me. And I also have Marguerite McDonald Music A&R and Talent Mentor Division. I help the younger artists. I show them, you know, I consult them and show them, hey, you don't have to go the major label route. You can put it out yourself. Now you're gonna work like a dog. It's a lot of hard work, but at the end, you'll own yourself. Nobody can tell you what you do with your music. Should you choose to go to a label, that's fine. I don't deal with their contracts and stuff like that. I try to show them, hey, this is, hey Dre, I want to put my music out like you did. Okay, well, let me show you. I walk them through. I give them, information, and because that's something that we don't do as black men and women. We got to get better and break this crab mentality and share information with each other, because that's how we grow as a community. So if anything I have, I'm the type of guy, if I know it and it's going to help somebody, I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna give it to you. Hey man, boom, boom, boom. I did this. It might not work that same way as I did it, but here's the information. At least give the person the information. So, and I have fun doing that, helping. I have a roster of artists that I help behind the scenes. I like being behind the scenes. I don't need the spotlight. I just let the music speak for itself. And occasionally, when I do step out and do a show, it's fun. I still love it. I still have that same feeling. But I like being behind the scenes. I like helping people, man, if I can.
I absolutely can relate to that. I mean, basically, you run your situation out of your household. I run my Nighthawk network, my network of podcasters out of my household. So you may see the nice little background here in the back, but behind the
Yeah,
scenes, we just chilling over here by the dining room. So I feel
it's
you.
it's nice, nice. Well, as you can see, this room is orange, and you know why it's orange. So
Mhm. Yep, I
you just
got
can't see everything. It's Brown's memorabilia.
right.
This is the music side of the room. All that. And there, got boards over there, my boards and stuff.
Okay. Well, yeah,
When
we,
I'm
we, we
working.
did hunt you down here on the YouTube. There it is, Marguerite McDonald Music. Make sure y'all subscribe and like and follow as I just did. Yeah, because we got that 40 subscribers. That ain't good enough. We got to get them numbers up. So please make sure you subscribe, especially if you enjoyed this wonderful conversation we've had with Dre Rock, as I have. I'm looking forward to hearing more of his stuff and seeing what he got going on. So please like and subscribe, this brother.
So you mentioned you do voiceover. What got you into doing voiceover?
So two things got me into voiceover. When I was a kid, it's music and then slides into the voiceover. When I was a kid, I didn't watch TV like the average kid. I was listening to the music. So some of the coolest music ever was Spider-Man music. Dun, 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 dun. I'm listening to the music. So then the voices. I listen to different characters and how they do voices. The guy, I forgot his name. The guy that I think he used to do the football highlights. John Facenda. He
Yes.
had the illest voice.
Yes.
So I can remember a little kid
Wind
watching them.
Raider.
yeah, the team came to town and you know what I mean? It
Nice.
was
Yeah.
an autumn day and
Yes.
yeah, yeah. It's because the words he gave the words life. And then I had a teacher that my mother went to I was in about third or fourth grade, Miss Garrett. And she told my mom, she said, when we have creative writing class, he has a vivid imagination. You know, so I never forgot that. So being taught how to read with inflection and tone and to give the words life. I love I'm not an actor on screen, but I'm an actor through the words.
Mm.
So if that word is dingy, I might say dingy. You know, just giving it a tone and inflection.
Mm-hmm.
So and I went to voiceover school in Burlington, Vermont, and
Mm.
my instructor, um, he was Brian Tong. He was he was a he was a good instructor, and he told me, he said, I think you got something there. And he one of the things that I remember him telling me, he was like, I always remember, because we were getting into the age where this was early 2000, but maybe I'm gonna say maybe about not early, maybe about 2011, 2010, 2011. I can't remember the exact time that I went, but he told me, he said, if you got to think about it before you hit send, don't do it. He said, just remember that. He said, I'm gonna tell you that, class. If you have to think hard about it before you hit send, don't do it. So I remember that, and then I did my voiceovers, and he um he thought that I had a good voice, and then also John Cosby here in Charlotte at Ground Crew Sound. He told me one day, he said, you got something unique there. You need to keep honing your skill. And he's been doing voiceover for 40 plus years. So I um I enjoy doing voiceovers. I enjoy it. It's I'm weird and quirky in my own way anyway. I used to sing little weird songs to funny songs to my grandkids and stuff. They'd be like, they call me Papa. They'd be like my oldest granddaughter, cause like, Papa, you so crazy when she was little. Papa, do that voice again. So I do it, and I always did voiceovers, radio. I got, had a chance to do voiceovers, and actually the voiceovers are more lucrative than the music. But the music is a passion, so I'll never stop doing music. I don't If I didn't make one red cent doing music, I'm still gonna make music as long as I can. And I feel like that. I feel the same zest with the voiceovers as I do with the music. So yeah, that's how I just watching shows and watching TV and listening to different tone and inflections from different people, um, and just enjoying the music. I meshed it together. And if you listen on the Therapy Sessions album from 2016, I produced a track on there called Zone 7. At the beginning of Zone 7, I was like, how can I merge the music with the voiceover? So I did an intro, and that intro was like a voiceover, the tone, the way I use it. So when you check out the Therapy Sessions album, you'll hear. So it was a way I could say. So if I met somebody who's like, "Hey, you do voiceovers?" Like, yeah, I got a voiceover in this song. People are kind of against something they never heard before. Oh, nobody's never done a voiceover. But a voiceover is a separate thing from that, which it is. It's two different things, but I fuse it together so they could hear what I could do. So yeah, I love doing voiceovers. It's fun. I'm getting ready to work on something now. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm working with someone. I just got the track last night that I'm supposed to do the voiceover on. So we're supposed to be having a meeting, video chat about it. So you'll hear me. It's one of those things, and I like voiceovers because I don't have to be on camera. I don't have to be, I can just do it and just, you know, they're like, who's that? Oh, that's the guy Dre Rod, rocking voiceovers from Dre Rod. Oh yeah, check him out. Okay, you know, I enjoy it, y'all. It's another passion of mine.
So we're gonna get into set the night on fire. You
Okay, Set the Night on Fire is the first release from the Funk Boogie Bang Volume 2 project that's coming in 2026. So Set the
So
Night on Fire is basically, you know how it is. You're getting amped, you ready to go. When you were younger, you ready to go hang out with your peoples. Oh yeah, we're gonna get it in tonight. We're gonna have a ball, you know. And so I wanted to. It's like a setup song for a setup song, a theme song for the night. How the night gonna go? We're gonna set the night on fire. We're gonna get it popping. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a good time, have fun, and everybody's gonna get home safely. And we'll talk about it the next day or whatever. So, and then just describing the scene, the aura of what's going on. So set the night on fire.
so here we go. Let's see.
Cleveland Columbus Connect. Hey yo, it is what it is. I'm about to heat it up, light up the night like a glow stick. Of course I wrote this nocturnal music for my people who be rolling on point like Chris Paul. We don't sip Cristal, we sneak a flask in the bar. We get it in like a packed house. Dudes be hating cause they girls want us to beat they back out. But I ain't even shiesty like that. I'm a real cool cat. I just came to relax and sip my drink while the DJ take me away. Wait, 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 wait. Hey, let it burn, let it burn, let it blaze. We be trying to set the night on fire. Let it burn, let it burn, let it blaze. We been trying to set the night on fire. Now that's what's up. The Crown Royal got a player on lean like what? You see, I'm chillin' with my dog from Columbus. There's 3 chicks at the bar. The third one is the drunkest. We in the place to be. All of these beautiful ladies, they came to see me rock the MIC. I'ma give them a show for the ages. So when she get her CD home, she gon' bang this. She told me that I was her favorite MC. Love the way I flow to a beat. I threw a compliment back and told her that she ought to be in a magazine. Now back to my flow, I'm trying to get my last couple of drinks before the bar close. Where we gon' end up at, I don't know. I probably won't get to my crib till around 4. Let it burn, let it burn, let it play. We be trying to set the night on fire. Let it burn, so let it burn, let it blaze. We be trying to set the night on fire. Alright, give me another one. Fire. Set the night on fire. 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 Ow!
Have to play it again. That's a repeatable. That's a repeatable. That's what I call when I listen to a song and I know I'm gonna play it over and over. I call it a repeatable. That's a repeatable.
Shout out to Ali of R&B. That's Ali of R&B singing background vocals for me. He's an incredible artist. He's worked in the industry. He's from Columbus, Ohio, and he moved down here to Charlotte. A friend of mine from Alaska told me about him because she lived in Columbus, and she said, "Hey, can you look out for him? This is my friend Dre." I was like, "Sure." And me and him met, and the day we met, we went to the studio and knocked out "Set the Night on Fire." And Set the Night on Fire is produced by Dom Synchro of the Synchronized Beat Squad from Cleveland, Ohio. So yeah, so that's an all Ohio track. You know, we got Ali from Columbus, me and Dom from Cleveland, and Dom did the track. So yeah, man. I couldn't have done it without them. And I'm glad that I had those brothers and we worked together, musically. So like I said, it's all about coming together, man, for a common cause. It's work to try to make some good music that people can vibrate and resonate to.
So how do you go about choosing your beats when the producers send you beats?
Um, when the beat jumps out at me, and then sometimes the beat won't jump out at me right at first. Sometimes I've listened to a beat, wait a minute, this is dope. How did I miss this on the first round? Oh, let me go back and really. Okay, yeah. Then I'll pin something to it. So sometimes I like taking a track. Sometimes less is more. So I like taking a track. The average person, my producer, Rough Draft Drum. He always tell me, he said, Dre, I send you beats, and every beat that I think you gonna rock, you do something different, man. And when he told me that, I said, you know what, I need to pray I always can do that. Because people have in their mind what they think you should be on, but then when you do something different, it's like, oh, it opens their eye. He's like, man, I didn't think you was gonna feel, I didn't think you was gonna gonna rock to that one, bro. So I just, I like, and I try to pick different stuff, man. I test myself and I challenge myself to keep going further, push the envelope on yourself, you know. Uh, Not getting too crazy because too crazy is what is he doing? But pushing it to know, okay, there's a certain thing, as I've gotten older, there's a certain thing that I do, and I know that I have to do that, and I have to make sure that I stay within the realms of the pocket of my funk boogie bang sound. I can create the sound, and I have other producers that can make it. They may not know they're making it, but I know what it is when I hear it. So I'm thankful to have that, you know, and yeah, that's how I pick, man. And if it feels good, and I rock to it. I love house music as well, so I love so many genres of music. So, you might hear me. That's why I say Marguerite McDonald music recording artist. 'Cause I don't want to be in a box, because I can do a multitude of things. Yeah,
That's good. Because no artist should be put in the box. If you feel you want to do country song one day, go ahead and do a country song. This is why I
exactly.
tell. 'Cause I'm just like you, telling artists stay independent because you get to pick what you want to put out. Even okay, your first song is an R&B song, okay, and then next one's a pop song. It's good music. People just want
Hmm.
to hear good music.
They
Don't
just want to
worry
hear good
about
music.
what genre your song lays under. Just give them good music, and they will keep listening to it and keep listening to it. You know, a lot of now, artists don't want to be in that box, and it's like the label's like, nah, stay R&B, but I'm more than R&B. I'm more
Hmm.
than pop. I'm more than country. I'm more than hip hop. And being independent lets you be who you want to be. And I like that about you. You don't put yourself in the box. You don't let no one put you in the box. You just do you.
I
So
just, we're all multi-layered people. There's layers to all of us. Even if there's one thing, like E may have this one thing that he does fantastic. He might be the greatest sportscaster in the world. But when E's not on that camera or whatever, at home he's got something else that he likes to do. He might like to paint. He might like to ride his bike. We're all multifaceted people, man. And I just think that you lose out, the world loses out when a person is put in a box because somebody dangles some money in it. They say, "Oh, I'm gonna put this. Oh, if you don't do what I tell you to do, then I'm not gonna put this money into you." Well, you know what? I'm not gonna give you the chance to do that because I'm gonna do it myself, and I'll let the cards fall where they may.
So I pride myself on being somewhat of a Renaissance person, where what I like is that I can basically interact with almost anybody and find something that they talk and have some semblance of understanding as to what they're talking about so we could actually have a decent conversation about it. So yeah, I could talk sports, yeah, I could talk music, yeah, I could talk politics. We've done a little bit of all that this evening. And that's just I think that's part of just being a good, well-rounded person. And I think
That's
most
dope.
artists are basically just creative by nature. So they're good at more than one thing, at multiple things.
Yeah, that's dope. E, you keep doing what you're doing. Keep growing and keep evolving, man. I think you're never too old to learn. I'm
Absolutely. I am
I'm
the living
56
proof of
years old.
that.
I'm still learning.
I
moving and grooving,
turn 50
shaking and
Fab
baking,
on
man.
Sunday, so trust me, I understand that completely.
Yeah. So, usually we go through commercials, but tonight I'm like, I'm not gonna go through no commercials. You're gonna get so our third and final segment in the show is called Dropping Gems. And being that we got you here, you already dropped some already, but
Several.
love for you to drop some more gems for the independent artists who may tune in. For anybody who's tuning in that may feel like, nah, I'm too old, I can't do it at this age. Let's leave it for the young people.
Every day is a day. We have this internet now. The internet is the record label. Put your music out there so people can hear you. You never know. Every day is a song can be 10, 15, 20, 30, 45 years old. Older than that. Every day is a new day for somebody to discover your music. Put it, so don't ever feel like, for that artist that feel like, their time is past. You don't know that till you get back in the studio and shake the rust off and go. I've had hiatuses where I wasn't making music, and I in my mind like, man, I still got it. The only way to find out, go in there, get your feet wet, you know, and also be you know, be the type of person that you're easy to work with. My dad, I'm gonna give you a gem that my dad gave me. He just always tell me this, and it stuck with me. He said, "Son, don't be the guy that people when you come around, people like, oh, here go this mother. No, be the guy that people are glad to see you come and they hate to see you leave." He used to tell me, he said, if you live your life like that, you'll be okay. So, you ever been around that, you be a group of people and that one dude that's always got some problems or trouble and starting stuff with it. Here he comes. Everybody's like, you know, don't be that dude, or don't be that guy or girl. You know, be that person that people glad to see you, and they hate to see you leave. They want you to stay. Be easy to work with. Because this is it's an industry and stuff and independency, but it's a small layer of people. You don't want people to get a bad vibe out. Blah, this person. Don't get me wrong. People have bad days, and sometimes stuff happens, but just be easy to work with, and bet on yourself. You know, jump
Yeah.
out there, do it. Put darn what everybody else saying. If you feel it in your heart and you want to make music, you do it. You know, and you got to get thick skin with it because everybody's not gonna like you. You guys enjoy my music tonight. I appreciate that. There's a lot of people that don't like what I do. I called into a show one time and they wanted to play my music and it could have been that I was in the you know, this was a younger generation. And when they put my song, they put Radius on. They was like, man, get that garbage out of here. That's whack. I just started laughing with them, because hey, everybody not gonna like what you do, man. But you don't let that kill your vision or your dream. You keep
Absolutely.
on
I
evolving.
mean, yeah, granted, music is subjective, but all that being said, we call those people haters.
Yeah, they could have been. Maybe they didn't like it. Yeah. Hey, I got a buddy. I tell you this, E. I got a buddy, and I'm not gonna reveal his name because he's like, man, don't you never tell nobody I said that. I was like, okay, but he said you could tell him what happened. I said, all right. So my buddy, we've been friends for years. He said, man, I love you to pieces, Dre. Dre, you my dog. Rock, you my boy. He said, but I just can't get into your music. And you know what? I didn't get mad. That's my dude. He just don't like my music. That don't
And
mean he don't like me as a person. He called me, checked on me and stuff.
right,
You know
it's
what I'm
funny
saying?
you
Just
say that. I recently had a conversation with one of my very good friends, and she basically told me, you know what? Honestly, I don't watch your podcast. None of them. It don't interest me in one little bit. And
yeah.
I've known this person for the better part of 20 years, and it was like, wow. She's like, yeah, I support in what you're doing, but I just don't like it.
Yeah, my boy, he support me. He just don't. My music just
Right,
ain't his bag,
right.
and that's okay.
It
We
was
have to
cool.
get thick skin. You know what, E? You got to get thick skin and not get mad
Hmm.
because somebody don't like. Of course, in a perfect world, you want everybody to love what you do, but there's so many different mindsets that everybody's not gonna like it. So, but what you can do is there's another gem for the artist. Don't worry about the people that don't like what you're doing. Concentrate on the people that do. That's your market. That's the people that love you and support you and like what you're doing. You know, and I'm not just talking about clicking likes or good comment. I'm talking about supporting, buying
Yeah.
some merch, buy a download. Come to a show. Anybody can click like. That's the easy. Oh yeah, I supported you. That you just click like. That ain't doing. I mean, I'm glad you like me, but can you know monetarily support me because that money goes back into my artistry, goes back into what I do, so I can keep keep bringing more music out for people. So find those people. Even if it's a small circle to the other artists out there, find those people that support you. Find that guy that'll give you a break. I barter and trade sometimes when money's not involved. Hey man, Dre, Dre, man, can you do a commercial for me? Yeah, I tell you what, you was producing this track, man, when I was there last time. Man, that thing banging. I sure would like to have it. Well, Dre, man, I tell you what, man, you do the commercial for me, I'll give you the track. Okay, we're gonna do the paperwork on it. Yeah, I sign off on it. We do a split sheet. You know, put something in writing, or you can just buy the track out. Or a lot of times, here, man, just take the track. Do what I said. Well, you know what? Give me your information because if it does become something, I'll cut you a check and send it to you. You have to negotiate and network with people. You know, everything isn't always a no. You just have to talk to people. You'd be surprised. Artists out there, if you get to talking to a person, y'all might have a lot of common and form a bond, and then go in and work on some stuff together. So, yeah, just don't give up. Just whatever you do, don't give up because I never wanted to. And the reason why I say that is because I never wanted to be that dude. I always thought ahead. Like, I don't want to be 70, 80, God let me live long enough, 70, 80, 90 years old, laying there at hospice with my little stereos. I'm like, oh man, I should have. I should have. At least I know I could die knowing that, hey, I gave him all with my music and this is what became of it. So never give up and bet on yourself.
Yes, thank you for dropping those gems. Cause it's
Thank you
that
for having
time. It's that time, to say goodbye to the people. So let the people know where they can find you through all your social medias, your websites, let them know all about that.
I'm on Instagram, DreRock5. I'm on Facebook. Um, I'm on so much stuff. You can get if you go to https semicolon slash slash mmm merch dot printify dot me. You can get your merch. I'm on all the downloadable platforms. I'm on iTunes and Spotify and Bandcamp. You also can go to Drerock DREROCK .bandcamp.com. You can download download the songs there. Um, like I said, I'm on TikTok, so you find me on TikTok. Your album cover that you guys saw. If you when you get to TikTok and you type in Dre Rock, you see that cover. Me with the apple and the bee. It's me. Click on it. I'm on SoundCloud as well. Marguerite McDonald Music. Just type in. You can Google Marguerite McDonald Music. That's MarguritMcDonaldmusic. If you Google it, there's some different stuff will pop up, man. I just appreciate it. Times there's people sometimes, hey man, I checked out your music, that means the world to me. Because all I can do is make the music and put it out there. It's up to the public if they like it, if they rock with it. And I'm cool with that. So, and I'm even cool with the people that don't rock with old J Rock, you know, they'll love them too. But, yeah, check it out. And if you have time, if my music is something that you can rock with, I appreciate you. And maybe you get to see me live doing the show I'm gonna I'm gonna, I'm gonna probably do some more shows, a few shows in the upcoming years. So I don't do them as much as I used to, but I still get out there, do a show, and I like to support. I like to support other artists and show them love. There's a blues artist named The Gift, Gift. Y'all
Mm.
got it. Gift, yeah, Gift. Check him out, man. He just played with King Fish. The Gift is incredible. It's The Good Blues is the name of his project.
Mm.
Gift, The Gift. That young fella is like BB King. So I support everybody, man. I try to show
Nice.
love to everybody. You know, all my people back in Cleveland, Ohio, Anchorage, Alaska, and even here in Charlotte. So shout out to everybody, man. So yeah, check me out if you can. I appreciate it. Thank y'all
So
for
before
having me.
you, so we, so this is something new. Before that, I'm gonna ask you because I haven't asked any guests. Give me five artists that are new that we should be listening to.
Five new artists.
Like any a new artist that artist that you listen to that we don't know about that we should be listening to.
Well, shoot, I don't know if I can give you five, but I'll give you Inhale, Nate Dogg's son. Nate Dogg's son is dope. He is rocking. Y'all gotta check him out.
Mm.
Let me see who else. Um, yeah, you know what? It's kind of hard because I listen
Yeah,
to a
it
lot of
doesn't matter
old
the
music.
genre. It doesn't matter the genre if it's
Not at all.
Doesn't matter the
don't
genre.
matter.
Yeah.
No.
There's a guy you're gonna hear about. He ain't even out yet. I actually got a chance to work with him. Uh, T.J. Peterson. He's a country singer. That
Okay.
dude is incredible. I did a song with him. Um, Song's called Monster. So that's all I'm gonna say on it. When I wrote and E once the song's getting mixed down. Once the song is done and he releases it, I'm featured on it, so I don't have a control over how the music moves and is presented. But once they release it and I get my link and copy, I'll make sure I send it to you. I have
Mm.
fun working with him. Uh, shoot, um, Ashley Blair, Ashley Blair Hunt is an R&B soul singer. Ashley's young, but she got a raspy voice. I love her rasp. It's almost like in a sense, like a Tina Turner type of rasp.
Uh,
Ashley, Ashley's incredible. I think y'all should check her out. She's on my page and stuff. If you go to the Marguerite McDonald Music A&R and Talent Mentor Division page and scroll, you'll see it. So, uh, and let's see, um, check out my boys, the Singer Not B Squad. Shoot, check them out. The UHB, they go by the University of Hard Ballers too. But I just listen. I listen to a little bit of everything. Oh, well, since you're saying our different artists, Adrian Crutchfield. Adrian Crutchfield, a saxophonist who used to play. He actually played with Prince before
mm.
Prince passed. Uh, he's dope. Um, Emil Island. Emil Island actually used to when they were young teenagers. Him and Dwelle used to work together. Emil's incredible producer and singer. He's been in the industry. He's dope, man. I listen to a little bit of everything, man. I got to get back in my uh, got to get back on my house music too. Lee Page, house music producer Lee Page, is incredible. You'll find these people that are on my page that they, Lee's from New York. He makes incredible house music. So yeah, man. Younger. Who else? What is? I can't think of the girl's name. This song on the commercial. I can't I can't think of the name of it, but I want to hear that whole song because I know it's the whole song. I was like, I was telling my wife, I was like, yeah, I like that groove. She was looking at me like, you like that? I was like, yeah, I like that. So I just keep an ear up for everything. I try not to get, even though old school stuff is my stuff. You can find me. On my Pandora. I got a Roy Ayers station. So I love
Mm.
Roy Ayers. I hate I didn't get a chance to. I should have took my butt to the concert years ago when he came here. But I was thinking I'd get to see him again. He passed away. So he's my jazz hero. Yep. Rest in peace to Roy, and rest in peace to Angelo too.
Absolutely.
Hmm. So that is it. I appreciate you, Dre,
I
for
appreciate
coming
you,
on.
E. Nice meeting you.
You as well, my friend.
Uh,
And
Road, thank you. Nika, thank you so much for having me. If we're gonna do it again, uh,
yeah,
hopefully when I get this volume 2 done, or if I drop another single, I might rotate back through, come see y'all again. This it feels like home with y'all. So
the
I,
if
door is
y'all have
always
me again, I'll
open.
come back.
The
yeah,
door
and
is
like I
always
said,
open.
since you got your other artists, by all means, link them in with us. We love to talk to
I'll
them
do.
as well.
I'll definitely do that. I'll make sure that I do that. I'll start connecting and letting them know that this is a safe,
Yeah,
good place for them to be.
because if you notice, there's really no place for indie artists to go
Yes, not
because,
well.
like, you see other music podcasts, but a lot of these artists already have a name out there. What about the
Mm,
ones who don't have a name that need that platform? People
right,
ain't thinking about them.
What
right.
about the
Well, I'll
ones that don't
definitely
want to be mainstream, but they just want people to know their music?
well, I'll definitely when I come across stuff, I'll send it you guys away. E, we gotta make sure we connected on social media and stuff. So
Well,
you hit
absolutely.
me
Like
up
I
and
said, I
I'll
just
hit.
told you, make sure you follow us here at Eric Buckner Nighthawk Network Detroit, and you'll
Okay, I'm gonna
see,
do that.
not only this podcast, but all the other things I got going on as well.
Okay, I'll do that,
Yeah,
man.
I actually have my AI generated music project that I wants to bring out in the next week or so. It's called Jazz Cafe in Oblivica.
Oh, I gotta check it out then. I gotta check it out. I know
Yeah,
if you putting it together, I know it's gonna be good. I can already tell. So
yeah. Well,
I can't
Rhoda
wait to hear
listened to some of it, so I
Yeah, he got. So if you go to my YouTube page, which is Road to Stardom Network TV,
that.
episode 7 was jazz, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
You will
Yeah,
hear
I think I
his,
subscribed to the page on
you will
Marvin
hear
McDonald Music.
you will hear the jazz songs I came up with through AI and the jazz songs he came up with through AI.
Yes.
And I think that's dope that because you guys are writers, y'all need an outlet to express yourself. So that's a
That's
good.
why I was
We were
saying
talking earlier about the
the
AI. That's a good way to do it.
programs are
Right.
good because I've been writing music since what, early 2000s, and I haven't done nothing with them. And then when these music programs come up, I said, let me put my
Boom.
lyrics in there to see how they sound. And then
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah,
because
you gonna watch. You gonna
that,
mess around and get somebody to sing on one of your songs. Watch.
the
It's gonna
first
be a
one I
big name
did,
artist.
when I downloaded the app, the first one I did was a song I wrote early 2000s called "A Thousand Miles." It's on my YouTube page. I put it in, and when I heard it for the first time, it made me shed a tear because I've been holding on to these lyrics since the early 2000s, nothing being done with it, and now to hear music behind it and it came out good, I was like,
Yeah.
I just shed a tear. But the only thing, I was like, I'm listening to it, I was like, dang, you know how sometimes you type stuff in, you type, make a mistake, and you don't know that you made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So when the song, I'm listening, I'm like, did he just say freeze and not breeze? I was like, ah,
Yeah.
but I'm glad with this app I'm using, they give you two versions of the same song. So they'll either give you two male voices or they give you a male and a female voice. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and it gave me a male voice and a female voice. I'm like, this is dope with both voices, but just one of the words in the lyrics is wrong. So I had to do it over. Then when I did it over again, it came out good again, and I was like, "That's the one I'm going with. That's the one I'm going
There you go.
because the
Yeah.
lyrics were correct."
I mean, it's
You
a
gotta
whole
find a way to
different of
express yourself,
itself.
man. That's important. It's therapy too for you
Yeah.
mentally as well. You,
Yes.
you know, so you have that lane where you can write the songs, and then next thing you know, They're gonna be like, well, who wrote it? Well, let's get her to write. That's how it works, man. Word
But
of
for
mouth
me,
never dies.
I've never in my life written to somebody's track. I've never in my life written to somebody's track. I've tried years ago, me and my brother, because I got connected to this dude who's the producer. Me and my brother, he took me there to his studio, to the studio he was working from, and he was like, "Yeah, I got some beats, you know." My brother was like, "You should have brought your book. Your book, you had all your lyrics, and you should have brought it." I wasn't thinking. I
Mm.
wasn't thinking, at the time, and because he was like saying to the dude, "Yo, she got some songs, da da da," and I'm like, I didn't. I was like, "Dang, I didn't even think of that." But then he said, "Here, I'm giving you this CD with the tracks on it. You write something, and you see what you come." I could not write. I tried my hardest to write to the tracks. I couldn't do it. Not that they were not good. I just couldn't do it. And
It's
it
just not
seemed
your formula. That's you. Everybody has their own formula how they do things. It's not your formula. You can develop it. If you really sat down and said, you know what, I'm gonna learn how to do it. You take
Mhm.
your time, you could do it. But your natural formula is writing without the music, which is good too as well. So, you know, so just keep doing what you're doing, man. Yeah, I salute you and I support you, both of you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I sent you one of my latest ones. I think I sent you in the inbox on Messenger. I sent you one of my latest ones.
Okay, I'm about to check it out. I get so many inboxes and stuff, but I'll definitely look for it now. Because we had a conversation before about it, so I'll definitely start checking it out more frequently.
I forgot which. I think it's either Rain on Me or it's Revive. I know it's something with an R. I can't remember now.
What's on there? I'll definitely check it out.
Cause I'm just like E is putting together an album. I already built the website where I took my songs and made a playlist. So all the R&B
So,
songs
Yeah.
that I've done that I like, I'm putting it up there. So far for the R&B one, I got seven songs. Then I got a section for jazz, a section for
Hmm.
gospel, and a
that's
section for
good.
country. And then I got my Latin music.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's dope. That's a
Yeah,
little
I'm working
salsa.
on something like
So
that too. I
my
try to.
Latin salsa song is called Mi Amor. That's on my TikTok page. It's called Mi
Oh
Amor.
man,
And then I did a merengue song. I got a salsa, I got a merengue, then I got reggaeton. Cause I'm what my Latin one is gonna be. I called it the flavors of Latin music. So it's gonna be
okay.
all like different genres under Latin music. I'll make a song. So
There's a there's a late there's a group they're called Naked Music. There's a Latin song they have. It's called Samba Contigo. I love that. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you on E. The chick that sang on there. Oh man,
Wow.
that
Right.
the way the song, just the percussions. It's
I
called
mean,
Samba
we definitely
Contigo.
gonna have a part two to this interview, but keeping in mind our time here, good people, we definitely got to call
yeah,
it today here, Rob.
I know.
Definitely. I know we get carried away.
Yeah, like I said, I love that the
Mhm.
conversation flowed this way, but I do need to
We
be off
gotta
the.
go. We gotta go. E,
I
somebody
know.
gotta reel us in. Thanks, E.
Oh, that's all good. Like I said, we'll
Well,
definitely have
listen.
you back on to talk again.
All right, you
Yep.
guys, listen. Thank you so much, y'all. Y'all take care. Have a blessed evening and have a fantastic holiday season.
You as well. It's nice meeting you, Dre.
Dre.
You as well. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Talk to you soon.
All right, peace.
Yep.
Peace. All right, y'all. We done had a good conversation with Dre. And we gonna end the show like we always do. We gonna play vibes. And we out.
All right, y'all. Till next time.